there, absolutely joyful to be with you today. We're going to talk about frustrations. There's always frustrations in life. We all go through difficult times with people, with neighbors, with coworkers, with family members. There's just frustrations in life. And I just have a few tips that might help from some of the lessons I learned in my life. So there was one time when the neighbors down the street came outside and just yelled at my boys on their way home, something about aggravating her dogs. And they came home really kind of upset because the neighbor had yelled at them. And I thought, well, I could ignore it. They hadn't done anything, but we decided to go down and knock on the door and apologize and talking it out. And you know what? The ladies, once she saw the boys up close and they said, you know, they hadn't done anything, she realized that they weren't the boys that had aggravated her dogs over the fence and gotten them upset. And so it just diffused the situation. It takes a little bit of effort, but it really helps to talk things out. Once I was doing an after-school enrichment program, a musical program after school 1 day a week, and we were using the music teacher's room. It was just the perfect room, had a piano. She wasn't using the room after school, but I just remember just getting the worst feeling from her, like I had offended her or was stepping on her toes or something. And I didn't quite know what to do because she'd given us permission to use the room, but we were teaching music and that was her thing. I don't know. I don't know. But I decided I'm just going to make her a loaf of bread and leave her a loaf of bread with a note of thanks the next time that we had class. And her whole demeanor changed. Everything changed. It was like she was appreciated, so life was good. And so sometimes it just takes, do a little extra kindness and let people know that you appreciate them. And a lot of feelings or frustrations could melt away. So when our teachers, many wonderful teachers of our children through the years, if I had a problem with a teacher, now this is a little tricky, but this is a really good tip. I would need to approach a teacher about something I felt maybe they weren't doing right or something they should be doing that was affecting my child. And quite often I would send a note to them about it, but I would encircle that frustration with 2 paragraphs. One saying how much I appreciated everything they did, and I would name the things I appreciated and name the things that were making a difference for my child. There's always positives too. And then I would talk about my frustration, but then at the end I would say, I am open to any suggestions you have. If you have a way that you think we could handle this better or something that we could do to help our child better, I would really love to hear what you have to say. And so you're taking the thing you needed to say and you're telling truth before and after, but it's making them feel appreciated and helping them feel like they're helping you work out a situation, which they are. And it's just a great way to handle those frustrations. I'm going to share a situation without any names and not a lot of details. But this was really hard frustration for me. It was a situation where something had happened and we had approached the people that we had been offended very carefully. We'd invited them over and talked to them and just very sweetly shared what we were having a tough time with. And they took great offense. And they had done something that they shouldn't. They had the situation, there was a reason that we should bring it up to them, but they didn't take it well. And they proceeded to spread our name and many mistruths about us around many people that we know. And that was really hard. It was really hard to hear from another friend what was being said or something. And it was really hard to be big about it. But we tried. We tried really hard not to say anything negative and just keep smiling and actually leave some goodies on doorsteps of people that were frustrating. And I wouldn't say that one has some happy ending, but I know that I feel fantastic about the way we handled it. So my tip on that one is not, hey, everything has a happy ending, but you want to feel good about the way you handle things that are frustrating. And the last one that I wanted to share with you was also hard, but I had a leader, and who was my leader in an organization, and the young woman the lady that I worked with on a certain committee, she was expecting her first baby, so all I can think of is maybe it was hormonal, but she was upset at me for reasons that didn't really make sense and that I didn't really understand, and she went to my leader to complain. And when my leader got us together to talk it out, there was just no talking it out. This young lady was very, very verbal about that I was acting thus and so, even though I didn't think I was. It was just really hard. It was really hard to not only be judged by this person, but by my leader. And I can remember crying that night. I can remember just bawling, looking in the mirror and bawling. And not sure I've ever cried so hard. And it was an emotional upsettedness to have somebody say things about me that were so hurtful to a leader. The next day, and I thought, I've got to work with this person on this committee. I don't know how we're going to do this. And the next day, this young lady called me, and she said, "Can I come over and I'll bring lunch so we can have lunch?" And I was like, "Whoa, okay." And she came in, and she was like a different person, and she said, "I don't know what came over me. I know those things aren't true," and it resolved. So she was like, one way, and then she was another way, and it was resolved so that we could work together. But I really just told that leader we work things out and we're fine, but never really, I was never looked at the same in the eyes of that leader. And that was really hard. I hope I've explained that right. But I guess the point I wanted to get across was sometimes those frustrations we have in life don't have a happy ending. They don't work out perfectly. There's not a great way to have everything work out. But we need to be glad that we handled it the way we did. And as kind as we can be, and as loving as we can be, and as understanding as we can be, because frustrations are going to happen. It's just part of life. So encourage you to make it through. Kindness goes a long ways. I know that you can do it, and I can do it too. Hope you find ways today to be absolutely joyful.